I just celebrated a birthday not too long ago, but I guess I wanted to keep it low-key this year, but my family insisted that we do something, so even if we ordered a pizza for dinner. So I obliged and headed over to Pizza Hut. Now, I'm out in Cleveland, Ohio, specifically Shaker Heights. It's off of Chagrin. It's a predominantly black area, but I gotta be honest, man, I was shocked when I got to the front door of the Pizza Hut. I saw this sign. It said, "For our patron safety, no hoodies." I gotta be honest, I would love to get the security surveillance footage, because you would see me in the doorway doing a triple take, because I was in utter shock, because I was wondering why this image looks so much like this image. Now, what you're viewing is a gun range target depicting a black person wearing a hoodie and carrying a can of Arizona iced tea and a bag of Skittles. The shooting range targets were produced, sold, and distributed after the 2012 shooting and death of a then 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
Hey, yo.
For those unfamiliar with the case, back in 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was returning home after purchasing a can of Arizona iced tea and a bag of Skittles. Trayvon was described as wearing a hoodie and looking suspicious by a then 28-year-old George Zimmerman, who alluded to the 911 operator that Trayvon might be armed. Against the advice of the 911 operator, Zimmerman follows Trayvon and engaged in an altercation that would ultimately lead to the shooting and death of the unarmed Trayvon Martin. Subsequently, after the death of Trayvon, a police sergeant was fired after purchasing these particular gun range targets and using them during target practice. Now, this brings us back to the sign on the front door of the Shaker Heights Pizza Hut. For our patrons' safety. What exactly is Pizza Hut attempting to protect their patrons from? Are they trying to protect them from potentially being humiliated or disrespected as patrons?
Hey, yo.
Or are they attempting to protect them from being accused of a crime, absent of any evidence or wrongdoing? Or could it be that they're just protecting their patrons from the mere appearance of being viewed as suspicious, which undoubtedly could render their patrons riddled with gunshot wounds? Now, Curious George Zimmerman, the neighborhood watch coordinator, now he saw Trayvon Martin walking home with his hoodie on and deemed him suspicious. Trayvon wasn't standing inside of a Pizza Hut establishment with his hood on. Rather, he was outside, just walking home. So, does this lead people to believe that one's hood is the culprit for making one appear suspicious? Or is it a particular people who find themselves being viewed as suspicious, regardless if they're wearing a hoodie or not?
Hey, yo.
Like a tribe on a quest, I was in search of answers to these questions, plus many more. Questions like, what are the intended goals and objectives regarding this store policy? Were the members of the community aware of this particular policy? And if so, how are they being kept informed of the policy's progress? The first step to answering these questions was to identify particular areas in Cleveland. I wanted to know exactly where the predominantly white neighborhoods were located, as well as where the predominantly black neighborhoods were located. I wanted to know if this particular Pizza Hut in Shaker Heights was an isolated incident, or was this new corporate policy that all Pizza Hut franchises were now forced to adhere to? Was this particular Pizza Hut being targeted, or was I just overreacting? Needless to say, I compiled a list of Pizza Huts and began to call them up inquiring about their policy. I started off with the Pizza Huts located in predominantly white neighborhoods.
Hey, yo.
Solon, Ohio was up first.
Thanks for choosing Pizza. Is this pickup or delivery?
I'm actually probably going to do a pickup, but before I wanted to know, does your store have a no hoodies policy?
No.
It doesn't. Why is that?
I'm not sure.
Now, so have you ever heard of any of the Pizza Huts not allowing your patrons to come in with hoodies?
Like hoodies, zip-up hoodies?
You know how in Cleveland it's like, you know, snowing here in April, so, and it's very cold. So if you came in out of the cold with a hoodie on, do you believe that you would be able to have service provided to you, or do you believe that you would be excluded from service because you have a hoodie?
The second one doesn't sound right at all.
Doesn't sound right at all. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right.
Yeah, because we don't have a policy like that.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we allow you to come in with a hoodie?
Now that was a good question. A question I was asking myself, y'all. Why would any Pizza Hut deny service to paying customers who were merely wearing a hood on their head?
Where exactly are you?
I'm off of Chagrin.
And they telling you that? Yeah, that's not good. I don't think that's right.
Now you see how even this young lady recognizes that this policy doesn't sound right. I told her I was calling other Pizza Huts located in predominantly white areas, and she even added to my list.
I was told Twinsburg is another area.
Yes.
Now I got the
Macedonia too.
there's a Macedonia. Let me write that one down. Because I can't get a hold of the Twinsburg one. You wouldn't happen to have their number, would you?
1 second, let me find out.
I really appreciate it.
All right, so you want the one for Twinsburg, right?
That's correct.
Okay, it's 330-425-9111.
330-425-9111. Okay. I really appreciate your time and your patience.
No problem.
Okay then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now it's at this point I'm really thinking like, yo, Houston, we got a problem. I mean, all I can hear is Vince Staples talking about. When it came to contacting the establishments, I thought alternating between Pizza Huts found in predominantly white neighborhoods or predominantly black neighborhoods would suffice. So the next Pizza Hut I reached out to was the one located in Cleveland Heights.
Pizza Hut in Cleveland Heights.
How you doing? This is going to be a potential pickup. Hello?
1 moment.
Okay, I'm about.
Phone number.
It's going to be 347 682 435. Before I make an order, I was wondering if I came and pick it up. I just wanted to know: do you guys have a no hoodie policy at your store, where if I'm wearing a hoodie, I'm unable to pick up my pizza?
You just can't have it on your head.
Huh?
Can't have the hood on your head.
Oh, okay. Is that for all the Pizza Huts or just yours?
It's for all the Pizza Huts.
Oh, okay, so it's a corporate thing, not an individual store thing. Is that right?
Yeah, it's tasty.
So this is the Macedonia Pizza Hut that the young lady from Solon suggested.
Thank you for calling us today. Pizza Hut. Is this going to be for carryout or delivery?
It might actually be a pickup, but before I placed the order, I was curious. Do you guys have a no hoodies policy in your store?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
If I come down to pick up the pizza, if I'm wearing a hood, would you deny me service because I'm wearing a hoodie?
no.
Did you say no?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a policy that is somewhat is unheard of in Pizza Hut, or is this something that is practiced?
As far as I know, personally, I was never told to deny somebody service for their appearance.
Okay. All right. I really appreciate your help and your patience. Thank you so much.
So at this point, we can honestly say that there is a definite disconnect in regards to whether or not this no hoodie policy is something that all Pizza Huts are engaged in or not. We also can see a pattern forming as it relates to where exactly this policy is being enforced and where this policy is non-existent. Next up is the East Cleveland Pizza Hut.
Hi. This is actually going to be a pickup.
Okay, for who?
Well, I'm actually going to place the order, but before I actually place the order, I just want to know, do you guys have a store policy that if I come down to pick up the pizza, if I'm wearing a hood, I'm unable to get my pizza?
No, you have to take your hood off before you enter the room.
Okay, so is that for all the Pizza Huts or just yours?
I'm not really sure.
So you don't know if they're doing this in Macedonia, so to speak, but you know that they're doing it at your store.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I'm curious. The person who owns your Pizza Hut is the Eastland Foods or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you have their number that I can call them?
734 589 6868.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice night.
You as well.
I need you guys to put a pin in that number that she just gave us. We will be revisiting that number towards the end of the video. Just put a pin in it.
Thank you for choosing Church for a pizza. This is Edwina speaking. Would this be for carry out or delivery?
It's actually going to be a pickup, but can you hear me?
Can I have your phone number starting with your area code?
Yeah, it's 347.
It's what? Your phone breaking up.
Can you hear me? If I come to pick the pizza up and I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt, would I be able to still pick up my pizza?
Thank you. If you're wearing, you said, would you be able to pick up your pizza if you're wearing a hooded red shirt?
Hooded sweatshirt.
No, you come in with your hood off.
Wait, I couldn't hear you. You broke up. What'd you say?
As long as you come in with your hood off.
Okay. Is that a policy for your store or is it for all the stores?
For all of them.
Oh, okay. I just got to make sure my sweatshirt hood is off when I enter the store. Is that correct? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now, after trying to reach out to the Twinsburg location unsuccessfully, I tried one last time, and this was the outcome.
Thank you for Twinsburg Pizza. Will this be for pickup or delivery?
This actually may be a pickup, but before I do, I wanted to know if I come and pick up the pizza and I'm wearing a hoodie, would I be denied service?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, is that a store policy of patrons, if they're wearing hoodies, that they're going to be denied services?
I've never heard anything along those lines.
Okay, well, I really thank you for your time and your patience.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to place order now or?
No, maybe later.
Of course, we'll be here, sir.
Thank you.
So it looks like we have a pattern here. All of the Pizza Huts located in predominantly black neighborhoods have this particular policy enforced, while all of the other Pizza Huts located in predominantly white neighborhoods haven't a clue to what it is I'm even talking about regarding this store policy. Now, do you remember when I said let's put a pin in that phone number given to us by that young lady? That number was to Eastlake Foods, the LLC that owns all of the Pizza Huts located in predominantly black neighborhoods. We are speaking about Ohio establishments, but yet we are given phone numbers that have Michigan area codes. Now let me show you something interesting about that sign in the window. If we zoom in under the phrase "no hoodies," it reads, "Any questions? Call 216-334-47," and I left off the last two numbers. Now this is a Cleveland number. And to tell you the truth, anyone reading this portion of the sign would think, well, if I have any questions regarding this sign or the policy, I can call this number. It must be a direct line to Eastlake Foods or perhaps their PR firm. What I discovered about those various numbers is quite shocking, and I will speak about what I found as we continue on into part 2 of this video. Hey, let's pick up right where we left off. We were viewing two contact numbers that were being provided for us by Pizza Hut. The first contact number was identified as the number to East Lake Foods, a LLC company that owns the Pizza Huts within the predominantly black neighborhoods. This number was provided to us by a Pizza Hut employee. After viewing the number, we realized that the area code associated with this number happens to be from Michigan. The second number we received happened to be presented on the sign found in the window of the Shaker Heights Pizza Hut that informed patrons about the store's no hoodie policy. The Cleveland phone number found at the bottom of that sign read, "Any questions? Call 216." After reading the statement, one could possibly believe that Cleveland phone number was a direct line to the East Lake Foods or perhaps even the PR firm. Either way, I was ready to make that call.
Hello, this is Coy.
Hello, I'm actually just calling. I was just frequented a Pizza Hut on Shaker Heights. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this is Coy Bush.
Okay, are you? I take it, are you the owner of that particular Shaker Heights establishment?
Of Pizza Hut?
That's correct.
No. I do advertising for some of their stores.
Oh, okay. And what's the latest advertisement have you done for the Pizza Hut?
Are you a Pizza Hut or a store owner?
No, I just came from a Pizza Hut and it had your number to call, so I'm calling you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I well, the Pizza Huts that I've done, in fact, all of the ones that were here in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
You know the new owners, I think they got about maybe 40 some odd stores. There's Chuck and oh boy, who are the other two guys? But anyway, Chuck came from Kentucky.
Okay.
He's up here. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. He's a owner, or one of the owners of the company that owns a lot of the Pizza Hut.
Okay, so
do you have a need? What I did for them, I print flyers, door hangers, that sort of thing, and I have people who distribute them door to door.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was a concern of yours, that you would need some advertising to kind of pick up business.
Okay, yeah. I was curious about the advertisements that I saw on specifically on the Shaker Heights one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw, what you see, flyers or door hangers?
It looked like I guess it could be considered one that's like hung up in the front door. It was speaking about safety in regards to no hoodies.
Oh, okay. That's the sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know what? I've been selling those to a lot of different businesses for them to put them on their doors because, as you know, it's crazy dangerous out here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I came up with this idea, which has been about maybe a month ago, is that I had seen where so many of the crimes that do happen,
Mm-hmm.
What happens, these guys, they put these hoodies on and they try to hide their, their faces or just try to look unassuming to a certain degree. And, it's just another easier way sometimes for employees to, if someone doesn't take the hoodie off, they could easily, just mention to them, did you see the sign, no hoodies,
Mm-hmm.
just so that they can eliminate any kind of a confrontation with a customer.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
The most important reason is for your customers.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Because what usually happens in some cases, somebody who is just visiting the business to maybe make a purchase, sometimes they're the ones that get caught in the middle and they get hurt. You know, so
Yeah.
So is that what you're interested in?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I'm going to be in I guess the Solon area. Now, have you done any of the stickers in that area as well?
No, I haven't. As I said, this was an idea that I came up with, and I printed and designed them. This was done within less than a month.
Okay.
So I've been getting, some good feedback from a lot of people. They like it, especially when they see it. Yeah, everybody that I've been able to have an opportunity to, talk with about them, and they all took advantage of it. And because I was selling them for like $8 to $10.
Okay.
And it's just a way of trying to have people a little bit more conscious of their appearance and how they really present themselves in business.
I just paused it for a second to tell y'all to check out how excited this dude gets when I tell him my aunt is interested in using his services in areas in which he didn't even post those stickers up, i.e. in those predominantly white areas.
Child care?
Yep.
What areas is she looking at?
Well, it's either Solon or Macedonia.
Oh, okay. What specific areas is she looking in terms of for location? Will she be on a main street in Solon or?
Educators say the best way to teach someone is through repetition. So through this repetitive action that is being asked of the patrons who are predominantly black, what exactly are the desired outcomes of this store policy? Does the desired outcome aim to teach the predominantly black patrons that they should learn to be less suspicious? Is this particular outcome even possible within a society that seems to believe that black people are in the wrong and that they are suspicious regardless of what it is that they do?
All right, doing what?
We're walking by.
Okay.
Radio 12's out with that subject just south of this.
Walking by and doing what?
Well, you're making people nervous.
By walking by?
Yeah, they said you had your hands in your pockets.
Wow, walking by having your hands in your pockets makes people nervous to call the police when it's snowing outside?
They did.
Okay.
So are you okay?
I'm fine. Or how about you?
I'm good.
All right.
What are you up to today?
Walking with my hands in my pockets. Walking.
Is that an inconvenience to talk to me right now?
Hell yeah, just because of the whole police situation going across the country, this is outrageous.
The fact of the matter is, this no hoodies policy is yet another rule that targets black people in an attempt to curb or control their behavior. From grade school students who are accused of violating rules by merely wearing their hair naturally or in braids, to those who simply sit and wait patiently in a coffee shop in Philly, we can see a clear and present distinction in how one segment of people are treated and disciplined. It doesn't matter if you're a LA Fitness member, it doesn't matter if you're just walking, it doesn't matter if you're a lawful CCW card-carrying citizen, it doesn't matter if you're a paying customer at Walmart, somehow black people are deemed suspicious. Now, what's most disturbing about this whole no hoodie policy is that it's actually a too clever by half concocted brainchild of an opportunistic black person who is willing to sell out his own people for money by perpetuating a fear-based narrative to store owners that reinforces the notion that black people are suspicious, especially when they wear hoodies. Where is all the behavior modification tactics when it comes to these folks and their hoods? This black opportunist is no different than the white real estate agents back in the late 50s who spread fear to white communities regarding the devaluing of their homes due to integration. Whites were convinced that because of integration, their home's property value was at risk, and if they didn't quickly sell their homes, they would lose out on receiving top dollar for their homes. This panic to leave the neighborhood due to integration was and is called white flight. Unbeknownst to the fearful white homeowners, the real estate agents who were responsible for spreading the fear in the first place were also the people responsible for purchasing their homes from them at a low price, and then turned around and sold those same homes at double the price. Now, as for our black opportunist, well, he really tried his best to justify the need for this no hoodie policy by stating it would teach patrons how to present themselves in business. But I must say, according to the online reviews of the Shaker Heights Pizza Hut, it's not the patrons that seem to be the problem, nor the ones who are in need of lessons on how one presents themselves in business. It's the employees themselves who are in need. We can see more and more of these stickers and signs being placed in predominantly black neighborhoods. There is something called the price of doing business. Theft happens to be one of many risks that are taken when running a business. If the business owner believes that the risk outweighs the benefit of doing business, then a decision must be made by the owner, either to leave or to stay. If the owner chooses to stay, why should innocent people be subjected to behavior modification tactics that are not being implemented within all stores? Nor are those tactics benefiting anyone in the community besides those who are profiting off of the community.
There was a young lady from our community that came in this store last week. She had her granddaughter in a car seat. You all thought she was stealing. She wasn't stealing, but the owner roughed up our young child in a car seat, digging in the car seat, thinking that this parent had stole something, and she did not. She did not. He didn't even apologize. What he did was, he said, all black bitches steal and get the fuck out of my store. We got it on video. And I'm telling you this, how dare you disrespect our community? How dare you call our women black bitches? That is intolerable, and that's not happening. We're gonna shut you down. We're coming back here, we're gonna be in front of this store, we're gonna show you what a black bitch is. And you sitting there shaking your head, yeah. I can show you better than I can tell you. It is intolerable that you all treat our community this way when we're keeping you in business. A1 Beauty and Supply. Black people come here all the time and spend their money, yet you disrespect us. Accuse us of stealing. All black bitches steal. That's what your owner said at A1 Beauty. How dare you disrespect our black women like that? And we're coming back. You can sit there all you want to. We're coming back to this store. I'm angry. I'm upset. We make you. We spend money in your store. Put money in your pocket so you can send it back to your children. But yet you disrespect our women.
Through the exploration of this no hoodie policy, we recognize that this was not a decision made directly by the Pizza Hut Corporation. We do know, however, that this decision was based off of a franchise owner being influenced by a black person profiting off of fear-based tactics. If anything, this shows us that biased policies that promote behavior modification doesn't necessarily spawn from those who are not black. Now, for those who live in predominantly black neighborhoods who have become complacent and immune to these biased requests to basically become less suspicious, I implore you, wake from your REM level of sleep and realize it is not you who are the problem. Rather, it's the society in which you live are the problem. This same society that has arbitrarily deemed you suspicious, no matter what the situation may be, are the ones who need change. If you don't agree with me, then allow me to turn the tables right before your very eyes. Tell me honestly if you believe the same not guilty outcome for George Zimmerman and the zero justice Trayvon Martin received would have even occurred if the tables were turned.